Woke up at like 3:30 in the middle of the night last night, which isn't uncommon, and it rained a little bit. So it's a little bit extra crisp this morning, but still it's like hoodie weather. But there's real rain coming, and I gotta get up and do a few things on the property today before it all gets in. Headed up to Moonshine today. Got a few people coming into town this coming weekend to help with another perma rig called Aquarius Moon. And I want to get a few things ready for the spring now that I got it up to date with some of the updates I did last time I was up here. So I'm carrying this big old heavy bag. It's full of metal, a few of the hammocks, but I'm not going to record as I go up because it's early in the morning and I'm going to be huffing and puffing. All right, and we're here. It might be a little bit cold, but at least I don't need gloves. Got a bunch to do, gonna get to it. When I was a kid, we went on a camping trip, and there were some like boulders that I was climbing around on, and my mom noticed that me and my brother really liked doing it, so she took us out one day to a real rock climbing place, and we did a bunch of silly, probably dangerous stuff, and I fell in love with rock climbing. And I went home, and we had these big, really tall alder trees in our yard, and I found a place that I could buy handholds, and this is the early 2000s, and I bolted them into a tree. I didn't really, I just went to Home Depot and didn't really take care to try to do anything. I was a kid, and they're still in there to this day. The tree is alive and healthy. I think I did a shitty enough job that they didn't go in very tight, and the tree was able to grow up against it. So that's what I'm going to do right here in this little nook. There's a bunch of places I want to put sort of climbing holds so that we get our focus off the bark and onto the plastic that we have. And I've drilled one hole to sort of test putting the first one in right there. It's really hard to put them in certain places depending on the constraints of the area around it, because it's hard to move a wrench. But this is like a very common stepping place, so I really want to make sure one goes in there. All right, first one looks okay. It's not an ideal shape for that crotch, but the bark over a couple seasons will come up flush to meet this. I'm not leaving this one super tight because it's at the very top where people aren't going to really be pulling on it too hard. It's more of for placing your foot down onto. There is a positive side to it here, just so you can pull on it, but this lag bolt, they're pretty long, so I'm not too, hey! I'm not too fearful that it will be a problem. We've got a visitor joining us. I think Marshall's up for the morning. But yeah, anyways, these bolts are pretty long, so I'm not too afraid on torquing on them up here, and everyone's gonna be clipped in as they're climbing through here anyways on that long daisy chained or braided piece of climbing rope I have. So I'm gonna fill out this corridor now with the rest that I've got, and we'll wait for Marshall to get up here. So my attachment point depends sort of on, or my attachment hardware sort of depends on the handhold. And so for most handholds, you're gonna need washers because, well, at least for what I like to do, the size of the lag bolts that I like to use ends up not working for me to wrench it in. I don't have an appropriate socket to go in there. So if I don't use washers, it's very difficult to get it as tight as I need on the first installation. So what I do is a series of either protective washers, lock washers, so what I do is either a series of protective washers to the handhold, lock washers to sort of get the tension to what I want, and then another protective one to sort of just cap everything. I stack as many as I need for the use, and to be able to get the lag bolt to be the right size. And then yeah, I screw this in. Getting them installed, going in nicely. All right, complete for now. I do have a few more holds, but I'm out of lag bolts and washers. But makes it so that there's a little less wear on the tree. Your hands use that rope wall and that rope wall as you're going up. There's this rope behind you to sort of protect you just in case you slip and fall. But all right, on to the next thing. Marshall decided to go over to the other side and do the Lord's work and hike all the way through that crap. He's over there now inspecting the anchors to sort of see what they look like after us not being over there through the winter. I mean, from here, it doesn't look like anything is having any troubles. I'm sure it's having normal wear and tear. And UV degradation is, of course, happening. But it's in the trees, so it's shadowed a little bit. And the highline's still holding tension, so for, you know, whatever that's worth. That anchor is crazy. It's so overbuilt. And we have a deer stand underneath it. It'd be cool to have a net over there eventually one day. And the final things I want to do today, I'm in the current topmost net, which could still fit like 10 people. I want to put one level higher, and I started to put eye bolts in a couple seasons ago for it and just ran out of eye bolts, and a whole bunch of other distractions happened. But I do have 4 currently in. I've got a few more with me. I'm going to get them into equivalent trees so that I can start to trace the perimeter for this thing. It's going to be really unique. And then yeah, off this center mast, we're going to hoist a flag. All right, so we're here on the next challenge, which I already got prepped and ready to do. I'm gonna detension the Moonshine highline. It's been rigged for nearly 2 years continuously, and we haven't tensioned it in forever just because it's stretched out and didn't stretch anymore. So, oh, there's a spider. And then this soft release is currently holding all of the tension in the system. I have the tails of the webbing attached down there to some cord that attaches to the front of the net, so that hopefully when I release the soft release out, I can just release it onto the net and it won't be a problem. But we're gonna see how this goes. I had an experience one time up on the gun site with one of my really good friends, who this net actually above me is named after, where we were detensioning a soft release, and it like suddenly released, and it like fucking pulled me to the rocks really fast, and like totally scarred, rope burned and scarred high tie, which was quite a thing to see, because high tie's a really experienced guy who, you know, not usually expecting to get hurt. But we were rushed, it was the end of the day, we were trying to get down, all those usual things, you know, and I felt overconfident that my weight could support something that it couldn't. but I'm 110 pounds. There's no joke there. Oh, dude, this is... It's like creaking. Huh? Like when you're tensioning it? When I'm detensioning it. Okay, it's starting to feel a little bit more normal now. Like at first there, even the soft release itself had a little bit of some crispiness to it. Well, it still does. Oh, whoa, there it goes. Like that sound you're hearing is not normal for this. It's just because the webbing's older now. Yeah, that's a soft release, dude. Yeah, I've never heard that before. Oh, it's starting to detension for sure. And here's the fun part. Ready? Phew! Oh no! No! Okay, I gotta do some maintenance here. Yeah, there was just like a small tangle in it that caught the web lock, but everything's released now, and basically have this huge 120-meter rodeo that we're for sure gonna be trying on our way down.
I feel like you're just looking for easy out right now.
Now I'm recording. This is the kind of thing we're gonna go down the hill a while.
It's honestly like it's so rodeo that like I feel like it doesn't even like necessarily kick you off, you know?
There's so much weight to it until you're standing.